I do believe that an English professor should have some idiosyncrasies. We should be a little bit of a character. My man, Leonidas, the modern Greeks pronounce it Leonidas. Because look, he's attacking you right there. I usually dress like this when I teach too, right there. Yeah. Cool stuff.
One of the very first impressions I had of the university was of Dr. Marcos in one of his classes. I believe it was his now defunct Roman literature class for the Honors College, and he was reading Ovid's Metamorphoses, and we got talking, and I greatly enjoyed speaking with him. And he was one of the factors that convinced me to come to Houston Baptist in the first place. God
has a sense of humor. Seriously. I got my PhD at the University of Michigan, and I remember when I was looking for colleges to go to, I was open to wherever God wanted to send me, but I was quite sure that God would never send me down south, because I'm from New Jersey, a Yankee. I was quite sure God would not want me to live in a big city. And I was quite sure that he was going to send me to a secular school. And of course he sent me to a Christian school down south in a big city. But that's really where the direction was, and I was a little apprehensive at first, but when I came down here to do my interview and saw the place and met Dr. Hodo, who just sadly passed away a few weeks ago, I just immediately felt this is where God wants you. I've been here for 25 years, and I'm an English professor, so my specialty are the Romantics and the Victorian poets and C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien and a few other things, but I also teach in the Honors College.
He really does know what he's talking about. He's got a memory like a woodshed, thing wanted always buried, but there is so much in that woodshed that you're going to find something interesting while he's unearthing it anyway, or he'll just happen to have something and he'll bring it out and you'll be like, oh, that's interesting, I didn't know that.
Marcos is an amazing man. I would say that more than anyone else, he's been my mentor, both in terms of life and in my personal areas of study. He's helped me a lot in terms of writing, both for school and like my own independent writing. He's a fan of the Romantic poets who have inspired my poetry, and he's been able to critique my writing. He's read a couple of the fairy tales I've written.
It's always fun. He's always really engaging with the students. Sometimes he's feeling really horrible at home, but then he goes to school and gives like a great lecture, and it's like nothing's wrong. The amount that he cares about his students, and he'll be in his office anytime people want to come by, and he'll talk to them for an hour, less, more. Any problems, personal, or he's also invited for many people.
The most exciting thing for me is that I've been doing a Bible study at my house for the last 25 years, and HBU's always been Christian, but it's been getting even more so over the last 15 or 20 years. More and more focus on faith and reason, and bringing Athens and Jerusalem together. That's always been my passion. Judeo-Christian, Greco-Roman, bringing them together. Remember, I am Greek after all. But to me, at HBU, we're sort of reclaiming the humanities, which should be the centerpiece of Christianity. So yeah, for me, especially when I teach things like Chronicles of Narnia and Lord of the Rings, but also John Donne and George Herbert. I've taught them in the past, two of the greatest Christian writers, Milton, of course, Dante. Always loved teaching Dante. So it's a good place to make connections between faith and reason, or faith and learning. What's interesting about HBU is that we are incredibly diverse. So this is a Christian school, so it means I can bring up Christianity in class, but over 10% of our students are Hindu, Muslim, Buddhist, Jewish. We have a lot of students that are just non-believers. So to me, it's the perfect place where, God can use me to disciple people that are already Christians, to talk to people that are new Christians, to share the gospel with people from other religions. So, I just love the atmosphere, and there's so much camaraderie. People respect each other, and I love teaching, students from India, Pakistan, Egypt, Vietnam. They're all over the world.
I really do appreciate him. I appreciate the support he's given me, not just as a student, but as a person. Even after I've graduated, he still cheers me on and wishes me the best of luck, and I really appreciate that.
Marcos, I do thank you for all you've done. Honestly, you have done so much for not only me, but other students. You've been there for us, and I'm sure you'll continue, because that's just who you are.